Hey guys, so we asked on our Instagrams what you guys wanted to know about us, our relationship, pregnancy. Just ask us anything basically, and we've got the questions here. So we thought it'll be a fun time to just have a sit down
Q&A.
Which we've never done before.
Yeah, wow.
And you guys, you asked some juicy questions. I'm not so done with them.
Nervous. No, I'm not.
Anyway, oh, juicy,
Alright.
juicy.
What's the hardest fight you've had in your relationship and how did you overcome it?
I'd be interested to know your perspective of the hardest fight is.
All right, you go first.
No, you go first.
I feel like we're just going to go day of mourning.
No, I don't think the day of mourning was that difficult.
I think the only reason it was difficult was because it was new. We were fresh in a relationship, so everything, everywhere, all at once.
We should probably say what the day of mourning was, because it sounds like it's something like this like traditional way of...
Well, I don't know if I've touched on this, but early on in our relationship when I moved into the van, sometimes I don't know how to communicate exactly what it is that is frustrating me. And in the beginning, when I moved in the van, it was always dirty. Like the van was just a nightmare for me to live in because I am very clean and I like things being clean, especially if I'm going to be in that space for a long time. And there was sand everywhere, we had zigs and it was dirty and the dishes were dirty. And I would sort of like make it my job to just keep everything clean, but then Alice would come in and just mess everything up. But I didn't want to say like clean up because first of all, it's not my space, it was her van. But second of all, I didn't know how to communicate that. So I'd make little side comments and be like, oh great, that was clean for 1 minute. Or,
yeah,
oh, it must be nice having sand on the bed. And like, you know, I could have just said to her, hey babe, can we just have a bit of cleanliness for a couple of hours so that I can breathe? But there was none of that. It was just expecting her to read my mind and to like use some common sense. It's clean, let's just not muck it up straight away. And then, yeah, I ended up making all these like comments and then Alice pulled me up and was like, hey, what's wrong? Like, why are you being so mean to me? Why, like, yeah. And I went silent and I didn't know. I was like, you just frustrated me. I was like, you frustrated me. I'm annoyed that you can't read my mind. I'm annoyed that you don't know why I'm frustrated. And then I sort of closed myself off. And then, yeah, I think for like the rest of that day, I didn't say anything. She, in her mind, thought that I was going to break up with her. She thought that it was the end of the world and I was planning my escape. But
yeah, I was thinking the whole time, I was like, so he's trying to figure out how he's going to escape and like not be in van life anymore. Like, because I think like for me that was so triggering because in my past relationships, being quiet meant like something really bad. Like as in like they were, you know, wanting to find ways to like break up with me or like because it was something that historically has happened. And so in my brain I was like, well, he's trying to break up with me. And then I kept being like, are you okay? And then he'd be like, yeah. And I'm like, but you're not. Ew. Like, why?
Yeah.
It was so hence the day of mourning. He was mourning. I don't know what you were mourning, but.
Whereas silence for me was reflection. I needed to reflect. I needed to understand why I was acting the way that I was. I needed to understand everything. And it takes me a long time to do that. I just like to process. Also, I like to process on my own. I don't want to like explain myself to someone, especially her when she's got like 1,000 questions coming at me and then I get more frustrated because I don't know the answer to everything and she's like, why? And I'm like, I don't know. And why don't you know? And I'm like, oh my God, now I'm even more frustrated. So yeah, back then, obviously I just didn't communicate well, but we learnt over that period how I could sort of communicate exactly what I needed and what I needed from her so that I could communicate. And one of them was just give me some space. That's all. And she was like, but. And I was like, no, trust me, it's for the best of both of us.
Yeah.
So yeah, now when I get that space, she knows it's just because I'm thinking or I'm reflecting or whatever it is. But
yeah,
that was me.
That's the day of mourning.
What about you?
I think the hardest fight that we've had and it was like 6 months ago and you were really busy with work and like so stressed and you were being really mean to me. It was like the same sort of thing that came up with the day of mourning. You were like being passive aggressive, but like I'd done nothing wrong and like you were making really snarky comments and I was like, why are you being so mean? And then you went away for a few days and I was like, really upset because like I was the one who was pregnant. It was in trimester 1. I was feeling so shit, and then you left, which is fine. But I just felt like it was like, what's going on? Why are you being so mean? And then, yeah, you were just like, it was like you felt like you were stressed and overwhelmed, and then like you had no one to go to. And when I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, TJ's being weird.
I know what you're talking about. Sorry, I was thinking that whole time. Maybe why I looked a bit
I don't want to name names
like,
and stuff. But like, yeah, and I go to my friends and like people, and like I'm always chatting, whereas you have no one to go to. And so you go, well, you don't like going to people because like that's how you process stuff. And it was just a really yucky situation because you were away for a few days and like you were really busy, and then like work was crazy, and then I just felt like if you're gonna leave for 3 days and not talk to me while we're having a fight.
Can I just say, at the start of that day, she left me. So then I started to play that game with her. She stormed out of the door and didn't say bye to me, and I could have left to work and left it at that. But I decided to wait for her to come home and address it. And then when I did, I left, and then she thought it was my fault all of a sudden.
No, I don't
so it was
think
like, we played that game. I was like, bruh, you literally walked out on me. You slammed the door on me when I was sitting here. Like there was nothing. She just, boom, out the door. And then when I did that, it was a problem. She's like, you just hung up the phone on me. You didn't talk to me. And I was like,
that was rude.
You stormed out of the door on me. We both did exactly the same thing. Anyways, carry on.
Bringing up some shit here.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we don't, it takes a minute for both of us to realize what we just did.
Yeah.
Like it took me a minute to realize it, but then also I was like, well, you did the exact same thing to me, sweetie.
Yeah. But I think it was more like, how dare you leave me pregnant, sick? Not like, I don't care if you go to work. Like,
it wasn't like I left her.
No.
It wasn't like I ran away and was like, fuck you.
I think it was more like, I felt like you're not even contacting me to ask how I am. I'm so upset right now. Like, why are you being so awful? And I was like, is this the start of, you know, like if this is how you manage emotions, what are we going to do with a baby? Like that was my thing. Like, oh my God, if we're having a tough time, you're just going to like ignore me for 3 days.
Yeah, and I think too, like obviously that was a shit time, but one positive that came out of it was that...
You get a free trip to a tiny home.
Yeah, I needed that. Like I had to tell Alice, I was like, we get to these points sometimes, well not lately, but back then, where we just did not listen to one another. She wasn't listening to me, I wasn't listening to her. That's just how it was. And upon reflection, I needed to go and give myself some space, and she needed some space to think. Because every time we would just talk to each other, it was like, you did this, you did that, you did. And I was like, bro, I need time to actually like think about it, because you're just attacking me and I'm attacking you. So that space, again, I need space, just gives me time to breathe. And it gives her time to breathe, reflect, etc., etc. And then,
It's resolved.
Yeah.
Did you have gender disappointment?
No, I didn't have gender disappointment. I would have been happy either way, boy or girl. I didn't have any preference. So yeah, that was pretty straightforward answer. There's no reasoning, it's just, that's how it is. What about you?
Yeah, same. I would have been like, I felt like I was always destined to have a boy, but I think I also don't care if there's a girl, you know what I mean? Like I was like, oh, that could be exciting, you know? So no disappointment. We're having a boy, by the way, if you don't know, which we're so stoked about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I can imagine, you know, there may be gender disappointments in families who like have heaps of boys and then want a girl, for example, but it was our first baby. We don't really care what gender it is, and I don't think we ever will. Yeah.
Okay, if TJ had to choose to save your life or Bubs, who would he choose?
That's so intense. I don't know.
I would probably save your life.
Aw, why?
Because we could always have more.
Yeah, thanks, sweetie.
I think I'd be depressed without you.
Aw,
Alright.
that's a really hard question. I really hope no one's ever in that position.
How do I get hair like TJ's?
So he has a really intense supplement routine. So in the morning you take like 4 or 5 supplements, and then nighttime same sort of thing.
Iron, calcium, magnesium,
Iodine,
and zinc. So 5 supplements.
He's Maori.
Stuart.
What is the most attractive thing you find about each other? That's a cute question.
Ooh. You go first.
Oh.
Tell me.
Like, is this physical attraction or?
Just anything.
I find the most attractive thing I find about you is, like you are nice to everyone. Like you're just like, I never have to worry about like, oh my God, like, is he gonna be like anytime we go somewhere, it's like you are so like talkative and like nice, and like there's no like, you don't put anyone on a pedestal or take anyone off. You're just like, that's just a person, and that's amazing, you know?
Oh, thank you.
My turn. You only have to list one, just remember.
Attractive. What do I find attractive about you?
My skin.
Your skin. It's very turning me on. Your confidence.
That's nice.
Yeah, I think we're bipolars. Bipolars? We're complete opposites when it comes to showing up. Oh, not really. I think I show up a bit more. You show up very extroverted, confidence, whereas I'm like a confident introvert in a sense. But I just love how confident you are and how you are. Like you just go out, you do your thing, you just like, it's your world and we're all living in it, really. Which
is not an amazing thing sometimes, I find, because I just sometimes forget that etiquette exists. Yeah, okay. Thank you, sweetheart. Has your relationship seen any complications during your pregnancy?
No, not new complications, and I think that's because we had a lot of complications in our relationship.
We didn't have complications.
We found out a lot about each other.
Right. Okay.
Whereas we didn't have to find that out when we were pregnant. So like we lived in the van together, for example. We had to learn very quickly and couldn't escape everything and anything about each other. So everything we do know is because we lived in a van together.
Yeah.
And nothing new popped up during this pregnancy. Well, I think anyways.
No, I don't think there are new complications. I think like at the beginning when I was like really sick, I felt like, and especially like when I was wanting to educate myself and like know things, I feel like that was difficult for me to process, because I was like, I thought like TJ didn't care about the pregnancy or like about anything because you weren't wanting to learn with me at the pace that I learn, which is not really a complication now I think about it, but it was just like something new that I learned was like, you're not the same as me. Like when I want to know something, like when I want to prepare for something, I prepare for it. Like I'm like, yeah, cool, like breastfeeding this, breastfeeding, yeah, but labor, and that's just like what I do. It's not stressful. Whereas like I feel like you felt it was like a stressful experience because you were like, I was trying to push stuff onto you, but then I thought it wasn't, you didn't care. So that was new, but whatever. We live and we learn. How are you incorporating Maori culture into birth and raising Bubba?
Well, first of all, we are incorporating it. I'm in a course at the moment because I actually am not fluent in Te Reo Māori at all. I do know the basics, so I'm actually enrolled in a course at the moment to learn
I did not know
myself.
When did you enroll in a course?
You don't ask. She learns what she wants to learn and I learn what I want to learn.
I did not know.
Anyways, I'm enrolled in the course.
Is it like where you catch up every weekend and like?
No, you just learn at your own pace.
Oh, okay. I feel like I'm going to learn with the baby.
Oh,
That's
definitely.
What I've concluded.
Yeah, and I think that's how she learns better.
Yeah.
Because if you sit her down and you try to teach her, especially if she doesn't want to learn, she's not going to listen. Like, there's no point. I'm the same.
Yeah.
How have you stayed motivated for goals in your life? First of all, what are your goals for the year?
God, I don't know. Like, I think for me, right now, my goal is to have a baby, be the best mum, be present, like all of those sort of very obvious things when you have a baby. career-based goals, like I definitely want to do more social media things and get into that space a little bit more, like through my Instagram, TikTok, and then YouTube. But for me, I don't have like, I'm not someone who like does metric-based goals. I'm not like, I want to run a marathon, or like I want to, you know, lift this much weight, or I want to, you know, earn X amount of money. Like,
Yeah.
for me, I don't need that to be able to pursue things. But for some people, it's really important. What about you? What are your goals?
Well, my only goal was to be a good dad.
Oh,
Yeah, career-wise, I love my job. I love what I do for work. So there's nothing really extra that I really want or need on top of that. I'm just very content. Yeah, I'm learning a new program, if that's anything. That's one of my goals, I think, to implement more, I don't know, like diversity in my portfolio, but that's about it. Nothing like crazy.
how do you stay motivated with it?
I think for me, motivation, it's natural for me. I don't really like force myself to be motivated or whatever. I just am motivated with what I do in life because it's what I enjoy.
I feel like I'm quite a motivated person. Like if I have something I want to do, I just do it. Like I don't.
She's a to-do list type of girl.
Yeah.
Like everything has a to-do list on it, whereas I do not.
You don't. Yeah, which is so interesting.
I don't have a to-do list for life. She has a to-do list for life.
Do I?
Yeah. I'll get notifications, doctor appointments,
Oh,
or
right.
got to call Sophia, or like just like life things are very organized,
Yeah.
whereas I'm not.
No.
But I learn a lot through that.
Yeah.
When did you know you were in love?
You go first. Was it like a particular?
Bruh, like after the first date, I think. Like, I came home and I told my brother, I was like, she's the one. Like, yeah.
That's nice, isn't it, sweetie?
What about you?
Well, I really liked you on the first date. I wouldn't say
I
I'm
really
going to
liked
marry you. Well, because I think I had my walls up slightly because I was like, you know, I've had nice first dates before.
Wait, can I just say something? So like on our first date, the first minute I seen her, I don't know, maybe I'm just like this. Maybe some other guys are like this as well. But I remember her hug was just like embracing. Like she really like embraced me, and I love a good hug. And yeah, I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's sweet. Thanks, sweetie. But I feel like it's weird. The first date, I was like, oh my God, I really like this guy, but I was really trying to protect myself because I didn't tell anyone for like weeks and weeks and weeks. And like usually if I go on a date, I'd tell my friends straight away. I didn't tell anyone because I was like, I really like this guy and I don't want to get my hopes up and like kick it in the, you know, in the foot. So like, yeah, I was so excited, but I didn't let myself because I was like, you know, you could be someone that I don't know, icky. But then we fell in love. I remember probably the day, the moments that I fell in love with you was we went to the tiny home for my birthday.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're just so cute. And you like got me, I'll pop it on the screen, like got me all these presents, but like small little presents that like open me when you're feeling creative, open me when, and I was like, you're actually my husband. And then, yeah, you were just so cute.
You're cute.
So that's when I fell in love with you.
She said I love you first, by the way.
I don't remember. When did I say it?
It was when we were at home at my house.
And I accidentally said it, or?
You didn't accidentally say it. You were like,
Oh
I
yeah,
love you.
we were
Go to
lying
bed.
down. Yeah. I think because I say it to everyone, I love you, and I was like, oh, and then what happened? You were like,
I was like, yeah, you do.
did you say it back?
Yeah, you love me.
You're so annoying. Okay.
All right.
What's one thing about your partner that you wish the world could see but they don't? How funny you are. You're literally hilarious, and I want to film you. And every time I fucking get the camera out, you're like, and then you go and ruin it. And I'm like, you're so funny. Like you need to let me film you, but you just don't. It's so annoying.
That's for your eyes only.
Actually, when we started dating, there was one time where I was like, I didn't realize how funny you were.
Yeah, she said that one day. You're like, you're so funny. I didn't realize how funny you were. And I was like, thank you. I'm born funny, okay? What's something I wish the world knew about you? she doesn't. Okay, I use social media more than her, which
Oh my gosh, yeah.
surprises
Yeah.
the hell out of me. Like, she's not really on her phone. Well, I mean, you are on your phone, but I'm on my phone way more. For example, after 4 p.m, there's like no social media from her, unless she's posting something or replying, but that's about it. Whereas I tend to doom scroll sometimes.
He's on TikTok
I
for
go
like
down-
2 hours. Like,
I go down
and a
rabbit
poll, like, all the new like UFOs in America, like, and he's like, did you see this trend? And I'm like, why would I see this trend? I don't go on TikTok, even though I have like followers.
I love it.
But I think that's because it's, for me, like, and maybe other creators find this too. Like, I go on Instagram and TikTok to find inspiration and to post and to reply comments. If I'm not doing that, I find it like exhausting, and I'm just like, I don't find it an enjoyable experience to like scroll.
Yeah.
Because maybe it's an element of my work, and I'm like, if I'm scrolling, I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Oh yeah, I'll do that. And like, it's a work thing for mine. Like my brain like can't not do that. So that's a, yeah, fair point.
What's something you're scared your child might inherit from you, and how do you handle that fear?
My nose. No, only kidding. Now you're going to be looking.
Now everyone's going to be staring at your nose for the rest of this video.
Profile. Yeah. Probably like anxiety, I would say. Like, I was such an anxious kid. I honestly thought like everyone was going to die every night. And I really don't want my kid to be like that. Like, if he is, that's fine. We know what to do to deal with it. But like,
and we
don't judge. But it's a lot. Like, it's a lot to deal with. So yeah, that's, and I'll just handle it the way that we see fit. What about you?
Probably my sadness, maybe.
Babe, what?
No, I just think I was very. Remember how I was telling you I don't know why, but I really don't like school. I don't like kindy. I don't like school. I didn't like high school, and I was just constantly like sad about thinking about even thinking about it now, going to any of those things. Like even dropping him off, I'm getting sad for him. I don't know why.
Do you think you were sad about the actual school, or was it
I hated it. I hated everything about it.
Not being like maybe you were a bit of a loner?
I wasn't a loner. In high school, I had a crew of 20 kids come to my house. I was far from a loner. Even at kindy, I had friends. School, I had friends. I just don't know why I don't like it. I didn't like it. And like, it wasn't that I hated it. I was just very sad. Like, the thought of school made me sad. Ugh. Ugh.
Maybe we'll see if anyone else felt this intense sadness around school.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. Have you ever felt judged by others for your parenting choices?
Not right now, because we haven't really had parenting choices.
What about your what you're wanting to do, like your birth story, for example, or birth plan? Has anyone, or your nutrition
You know what
advice?
I find there's a lot of negativity around, and anytime I'm excited about something, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to give birth, with no medication. There's always people who go, good luck with that, or yeah, right, or...
You know what I found really, really interesting? I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to say it. It's just how much females bring each other down. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
As to how everyone's like, women power, girls, we're in this together. And they will be the first to tear each other down. Like, it blows my... And I've only just realised it's been with Alice.
But on that, like, it's sort of, it's like you can't be excited for the possibility. It's like, I want to breastfeed. Oh, good luck with that.
You wait.
Like, you wait until you get mastitis, or just you wait until your baby doesn't latch. It's like, can we be excited for a moment? Like, can we be naive? Like, can we just go into it with a positive mindset, rather than it's like, I had a shit situation, so I'm going to project that onto you, and like, that's going to happen to you. You know what I mean? I feel like that's...
Yeah, I don't even pay attention to it. She's like, look at this comment, or this person said that. Who cares? Someone probably depressed or sad at home.
Have you ever thought about leaving your relationship but stayed because you feared being alone?
That's so sad to even think that people will get to that point.
Lots of people do.
No, but that's very sad.
I think that, like, yeah. We haven't never felt that.
No.
I will happily leave you if I don't like you. No, I'm kidding.
She would, in a heartbeat.
I'm like, see you later, bitches! She's out, and I'm carrying the baby with me. Oh. Is there anything in your relationship that you think you've settled? Well, I really wanted a tradie boyfriend, and I didn't get that.
I did not know this. Never heard this.
I just wanted someone who's able to fix stuff, you know? But I didn't get it, and it's fine.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Because I got something else instead.
You might get a tradie son. God, even better.
Yeah. But I got a videographer, which is so good.
That's very surprising to me.
Really?
Yeah, because I would take you as someone that really wants a content creator. Because they can, like, enhance your life.
I think, yeah.
Whereas...
Well, I think in reflection, I'm just saying I really wanted one, a tradie person, because I wanted someone who could fix stuff. Even just a handy person, right? Whereas I got a videographer and I'm so happy that I did that because it's actually enhanced my life a lot more. But at the beginning I thought, oh.
God. Well, I'm not going to be a tradie anytime soon.
Okay, what about you? Have you settled?
Like, you're not as clean, so I'm going to settle on it. Like that. She's never going to be as clean as me. So I've settled on
my God.
No, I've settled on that.
Yeah, I guess so.
I came home yesterday from being away for work for 3 days, and there's ants all in the kitchen. And she's like, oh, I thought I cleaned that. Oh my gosh, I don't know where the ants come from.
I
and then I open up the cupboard where the bins are, and the bins are overflowing. And I'm like, well, maybe the ants, I don't know.
Do you know what? I think the ants are from your rotten bananas.
This is what I mean. It's just, yeah, I've just settled, like, there's going to be an excuse every single time. It's the bananas all of a sudden. Whereas for me, if she was away for 3 days, I would have just cleaned every day.
To be fair, you did walk in, it was quite clean on the ground and stuff. I did clean. I just didn't see the ants.
No, it was still sandy. Anyways, carry on. That's what I mean. We're just different cleanliness. Her clean's different.
Have you ever been tempted to cheat? What?
Ew. You can do that question if you want.
Yeah. We could tell the cheating's cheating. Yeah, okay. Have you ever been tempted to cheat? Guys, this is the funniest story. So, the other day we went to a wedding, and like, I don't do makeup, jewelry, obviously, but I went to like, where did I go? Like Target or something to get some earrings.
We got them at Kmart.
Yeah, or Kmart to get some earrings.
It's like a packet of them.
$3 for like 12. And I wore like the looped ones. Anyway, so wore them, I would have just like chucked them into my bag and just forgotten about them. And literally a few days ago, I saw this looped earring on the ground of TJ's car. And I was like, babe, you're cheating on me. As a kind of a joke, but I was like, where the fuck's this earring come from? Like, I don't wear earrings. So like, it must have been a girl that you had in your car. I was like, you're cheating on me. Like, I found an earring, you're cheating on me. And he was like, shut up, like I'm not. And then like, I was like, well, this earring, like who owns this earring?
Whose earring is this? Whose earring is it? She gets out of the car and she comes inside and I'm like, obviously reflecting as I do. And I'm like, we went to a wedding last week. I was like, excuse me? And I yelled out, I was like, excuse me? She's like, yeah? And I was like, where are your earrings from the wedding? And she was like,
So that was my earring for the wedding that I completely forgot about because I don't wear earrings.
Even I forgot about it. I was like, that's why I had to think for a second. I was like, yeah, what? Where did that earring come from?
Anyway, so that's how little we think about cheating. I just think cheating is just absolute.
I don't get it. That's the thing I don't understand. Like, I don't, even when I was single, I couldn't even hook up with anybody. So I don't get how people are out there hooking up with people when they've already got someone. It blows my mind. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's weird. It's
What
weird.
are you doing, honestly?
The other day you had a nightmare that I cheated on you.
Oh, bro. That's because of the earring. I had the nightmare. Like a couple of days later, I had a nightmare that she cheated on me, and I called her because I was away for work. I was like, what are you doing? Where are you? She's like, I'm at home. Well, I had a dream that you cheated on me. She's like, well, I'm at home carrying your son. Yeah, well, did you go to a bar last night? No.
Yeah.
Anyways, no.
I don't think we ever have doubts that even though the earring situation, the nightmare, like I'm never like worried that you're gonna cheat on me. I'm more worried that he's gonna die than cheat on me.
Oh, bro, every day. She thinks I'm gonna die. I could get up from this couch and go to pack up the equipment, and she'd go, where are you going? What are you doing?
No, you're making me sound like a psychopath.
I'm going to pack up. And then I'll go to the toilet. Where are you going? I'm going to pee. Okay. What are you doing? Anyways, back on the cheating thing. It blows my mind. Like, what even is your thought process? I could never look at anyone the way that I look at Alice. Like, I just don't get it.
I think people are messed up. That's what it is. People are messed up. I don't feel like for people who wouldn't cheat, it doesn't make sense.
What's the biggest fear you have about raising your child in today's world?
I mean, this is cliche, but like technology, social media.
Yep.
It scares me. And it's like, it's not just the implications of social media and like just the stimulation that can have on the brain and stuff, but it's more like that displaces such quality time outdoors and like exploring and learning and like using your hands. Like it's sort of the outcome of that scares me a lot, that, you know, kids don't want to go outside and like don't want to go to the beach or ride their bikes or talk to people. Like, that's so scary. And even though as parents we can, you know, make the outdoors and that stuff fun, it's like they go to school and they're on iPads and phones, and like there's elements where you actually cannot stop that from happening, and there's elements where it's like technology has been great for children to learn, and I don't know, like whatever that does, but like yeah, that's my biggest fear. Ugh.
Yeah, mine's is bullying.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm most afraid of.
I've never ever thought about that.
I think, I seen a video the other day of a mum going into the school to yell at her kid's bully because her kid kept coming home and being like, I don't want to be in this world anymore. So the mum went to the school and then yelled at this kid. That's what I'm probably most afraid of, is the bullying. Like, I think back to school, if I ever got bullied, which I didn't, thank God, but I do think about whether or not I probably would tell my parents, and I probably wouldn't if I was getting bullied in school. So yeah. Thank you for joining us in today's Q&A. We are about to head into trimester 3, and we're so excited. Baby is going to be here in no time.
Yoo-hoo!
Thank you for being here. It's
My
great.
legs are numb.
It's lovely having you. See you next time.
That was a lot. Bye, everyone.